and resolutions. Senator McEwen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File Number 3633 be withdrawn from the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources Policy and Legacy Finance, given a second reading and placed on general orders.
To that motion, Senator Port. I'm sorry, McEwen.
Thank you, Mr. President. And Mr. President, I also would like to impose a call of the Senate for the remainder of the motion.
The Senate is under call. Senator McEwen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that further proceedings under the roll call be dispensed with and the sergeants be instructed to bring in absent members.
On that motion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the motion does prevail. The Secretary will close the roll. Members, as a reminder, this requires a 41 vote. And also that as I've been following in previous motions, that the author has a certain level of latitude. However, any other additional comment needs to be rather tightly construed to the urgency to be declared to bring this to the floor. Senator McEwen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I ask today that this bill be considered. Senate File 3633 is extremely urgent. What it is a relatively modest ask. It's for an allocation from the general fund of $650,000 for a water study. What it does is it would allocate that money to the University of Minnesota Water Council, a nonpartisan group that has a variety of scientific disciplines represented to conduct that study. And what that group would be charged with is putting together an evaluation and then recommendations for policy to ensure that Minnesota has an abundance of clean water for the next 50 years. This is a different kind of study than anything that is happening right now. It would not be a study, again, conducted by a state agency. It would be nonpartisan, and it is looking ahead into the long term. But colleagues, the urgency of this comes from the moment that we are in. We've had many discussions about this in regard to the climate crisis in particular. We are now in active climate crisis, which is just going to increase in intensity in coming years. Colleagues, now is the time for us to have the professionals, the experts in our state assess the state of our water supply. We all know that water is the source of everything, and we are the state of water. We are the state of 10,000 lakes, and we all know that there's many, many more than 10,000 lakes. This is our heritage. This is our pride. This is something that we need to make sure is preserved and protected going forward. This cannot wait. This type of study, this type of plan making cannot wait until the next session. It needs to happen now. There are many, many threats, as we know, to our clean water. The climate crisis, as I said, is on full steam ahead, and we don't really see that we have the political will at this point yet, at any rate, to take the kind of meaningful action that we will be needing to take in future years. So at the very least, colleagues, let's make a plan going forward. There are also other threats, PFAS, microplastics, just to name a few. And we've already seen, we saw in our environmental omnibus bill from this body, included a smaller study for the White Bear Lake area of our state to make a plan for that region. Well, colleagues, this is going to be happening more and more as we go forward. Are we going to piecemeal this and do studies region by region as we hit crisis points? Or should we make a plan as a state based on expertise, based on science, to guide us as we go forward into this new territory that we're facing? I suggest that we need this information. And this truly is a modest ask. It's just for the information. We're also facing threats from corporate actors. Many of you know, and you've seen the headlines, we've seen record amounts spent on lobbying of this body, of the House, in this building, record amounts of money, sometimes spent by corporate actors that are involved in fraud, bribery, child labor practices, union busting. They have projects that they want to push forward, and they think that if they spend that money in this body that they will see results for those projects. And in some cases, we have seen that they are well-founded to think that that is correct. So as we move forward into the future, we need a plan. We need to have some guidance from experts about what is going to be the best course of action in community together to look out for our water. It truly is. Everything is based on this. Our agricultural sector is based on this. Industry needs it. Our communities need it. We need clean drinking water, of course. There's so many issues that we need to address. The lead in our drinking water. So let's put together a plan. And let's realize the urgency of this moment that we are in. So colleagues, I ask for your support, and Mr. President, I request a roll call on this vote, please.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Further discussion to the motion to withdraw the bill? Senator Johnson-Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. As a co-author of this bill, I rise in support of Senator McEwen's motion.